Listen to the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Liz. Okay, first thing on our agenda today we have is our approval of minutes for public health and safety. Oh, Lo Siento. Could Karen please do roll call?
Collins. Here. Jerry.
Here.
Parker. Here. Trenier.
Jackie called me this morning, apologized for Graham, that's it. She told me to tell you.
It's a good thing Graham is taking care of her. Sorry, Karen, I had a very late night, so I guess I'm still sleeping. All right, thank you for reminding me. Okay, we will now move on to approval of minutes for the Public Health and Safety Committee meeting, July 7th. Moved by Gould, second by Collins. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Next thing on our report, we do have our Sunny Hill Nursing Home, our updates that they give us, the different reports every month, which provides us with all the information, what's going on at the nursing home, whose special 100th birthday happens, and things like that. Hopefully you've all read through that in your packet. We will now move on to old business. We have a public hearing for amendments to the Will County Chapter 51 Sewage Treatment and Disposal Ordinance. I'd like to open a public hearing. Right. Motion by Collins, second by Ferry. Roll call, please.
Gould.
Yes.
Collins. Yes. Ferry.
Yes.
Parker. Yes. Golds.
Yes. All right, we're in public hearing. So, has anyone signed in to speak in public hearing? That we don't have anyone speaking?
No, I didn't. I don't have a second.
Is anyone here that would like to speak publicly about the Chapter 51 Sewage and Treatment Disposal Ordinance? Okay, so we will close public hearing. Moved by Gould, second by Collins. Roll call, please.
Gould.
Yes.
Collins. Yes. Ferry.
Yes.
Parker. Yes. Ogalla.
Yes.
You're now closed.
We are now closed. Okay, we will now move to our second item on our old business, which is amendment to the Will County Chapter 51 Sewage Treatment and Disposal Ordinance, and Sue Olenek is here.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I believe we went through this ordinance once already, page by page. I can do that again if you'd like, or I just wanted to kind of start with a summary of what we've done. We've made a lot of just kind of cleanups and corrections in the ordinance. We also added a couple of sections. Did you want me to go through it page by page again, or?
Yeah, just give us a nice summary, because we did go through it last month, but a nice summary would be good.
Okay.
We do have Grant Spooner here today, so it is being recorded. I like to have that.
Sure, okay. We, as you know, we operate with several ordinances and codes within our Environmental Health Division, and periodically those need to be updated, they need to be changed. We have requirements there that contractors, homeowners, et cetera, need to adhere to. So those are updated periodically, as well as any kinds of fees or monies that are collected during these and through these ordinances. We made a couple of cleanups, and that was really on page 2 and a couple of other areas. We added a section on page 14 on tank abandonment. We made a correction on page 14, and we changed out the word bedrock for limestone. Those two are two different kinds of formations, and so we corrected that. And by the way, before I go any further, I'd like to introduce, this is Katie Nelson, I'm sorry. Katie is one of our program coordinators in environmental health, and she was very much involved in the ordinance corrections and updates. And if you have any other questions, we can certainly ask Katie. We modified some dates on page 18 on Schedule A, which starts on page 20. This is where we updated some of our fees. As you can see, the soil evaluation fee, the new sewage installation permit fee, a repair permit fee, the annual permit to discharge fee, the homeowner's test. There's a verification of existing system fee that was increased, and a sign-off fee was also increased. All of these were increased very slightly. We take a very hard look, very comprehensive look at what our costs are, what's all involved with us going out into the field, or the time involved. And certainly we don't recover all of our monies, but we feel that this is an adequate and a fair increase in the fees. As you can see, they're $25, $20, $10. We think it's very, very workable for the homeowner and or the contractor. And some of these, I believe the annual permit to discharge fee, letter G, I don't think that one's been increased for several years. Is that correct? Since 2007. So,
Okay.
yeah. Let's see. Really, that is the bulk of it. Katie, is there anything else that you'd like to point out that's critical that we mentioned?
I think the majority of what we did focused on the fee schedule and just minor changes to the verbiage.
Right, and that's something you guys do all the time. You look at your ordinances, see what changes need to be made according to state compliance, change those, and then every now and then we do have to look at our fees and see if they need to be increased, because of course costs go up over the course of time. So.
Correct. And sometimes there's also new technology out there that, can have an impact on what we're doing, so that's something else we need to consider as well. And we
Okay.
do.
All right. Do you guys have any kind of comments or questions for Sue or Katie? No? Okay, well, thank you, Sue, for bringing that forward and making it nice and clear for everybody to understand.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
I'll make a motion approved.
Motion approved by Gould, second by Ferry. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next on our agenda, we have other old business. Is there any other old business that anyone would like to talk about? No other old business. We will now move on to new business, which is renewing the contract for nursing services for CNA, LPN, and RN at Sunny Hill Nursing Home, and we have Rita. Good morning.
This is a 2015 bid. This is the second year renewal. It's effective 11/1 of 16 through October 31st of 17. We currently have 4 vendors that bid on this. It includes from a 0 to a 3% increase, which was allowed on the original bid. We're asking for the renewal.
And all 4 agreed, right?
Yes, there are letters.
I saw
And
it.
We send the letters and then I attach their email response, and they're all in agreement.
And is there any increase in it all? No
From-
increase?
0 to 3%.
Oh, 0 to
If you-
3%.
The last page is the spreadsheet,
Right.
and it will list which vendors had increases on the far right.
Okay, that sounds.
And this, of course, is with Ms. Severo's approval.
Right. Karen, who will be back with us soon, I hope. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve? Motion
Second.
by Collins, second by Ferry. All in favor? All right, Rita, thank you. Move on to other new business. Does anyone have any other new business to discuss? No, well, we'll do public comment. So we'll go from other new business to public comment, and I know we have some people here who would like to speak today, so Karen, do you have any names or anything? Okay. Mokena. Okay, with the mayor from Mokena, would you like to come up, please?
Yes, thank you very much. And I would like to have my chief of police, Steve McConnell.
You also have the highway commissioner from Frankfurt Township.
Right, they can talk, everyone can talk. Could you please state your name so that we
Yes,
can hear the
Mayor Frank
record?
Fleischer for the village of Mokena.
You hit that little star on the microphone so that everybody
And Stephen
There we go.
Vaccaro, Police Chief for the Village of Mokena. Vaccaro, VACCARO.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and I'm here regarding, we are here regarding leaf burning in Will County, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Steve just to bring up some points pertaining to enforcement and the problems that we have allowing leaf burning within the county areas of Mokena. Mokena has banned leaf burning a long time ago. The hard part now is to enforce that when people that are in the county burn. And I've got our chief here just to give you some information on how tough it is to enforce that the way it is now.
I know this has been on and off your agenda since about 2009. I did speak with Bob Control from the Sheriff's Department, and he actually worked on some of the ordinance recommendations for your committee for Will County. In Mokena, since 2014, November 2014, we have had 38 calls for open burning. And as the mayor indicated, it's prohibited by ordinance, open burning, which is yard debris. We don't prohibit the fire pits, fireplaces, the mason fireplaces that you see outside, but we do prohibit open burning of yard debris. And of course, rubbish, those kinds of things need a permit from the state and from the county or from the EPA in order to burn rubbish. The problems that we have in those 38 calls for service, many came from our own residents. The violators were our residents, and we're not super punitive. We send an officer out, they knock on the door, it's a violation of our village ordinance, and typically they comply. However, many of the calls for service that we had were, the violators were in unincorporated areas of Mokena, which falls in Will County. We have no teeth in that respect. So we've got residents with asthma issues, with bronchitis issues, COPD, cardiopulmonary issues, who are affected by the smoke that is coming from those who are burning yard debris, leaves, sticks, branches, and there's nothing that we can do about that. I don't know that we're looking for a county-wide resolution. Right now, we can speak on behalf of the village of Mokena. We're looking for something that will help our residents. And if you would consider some sort of a ban on open burning in areas that are in close proximity to incorporated areas, that would certainly help our residents. And right now, again, we don't have the teeth to do that. Now, going through some of your minutes in the past, I think it's been suggested that the Sheriff's Department, even if there is an ordinance, would be either unwilling to enforce such an ordinance or cannot enforce such an ordinance, and I find that untrue. I have, at the most, 5 police officers on the street. When we get calls for service, we respond, we address them. Will County Sheriff's Police, and I'm not going to speak for Sheriff Kelly, but my guess is that they will respond and they will address the problem, no matter how minute the problem is, whether it's somebody skateboarding on a sidewalk, whether it's a domestic battery, or whether it's somebody burning leaves. Their job is to respond and resolve the problem. So as far as, and I believe that came from this committee in one of your meetings in the minutes, that it was suggested that the Sheriff's Department would either be unwilling or unable to enforce such an ordinance. And again, I find that untrue. Our job is to serve and protect, respond to calls for service, again, no matter how minuscule. So I think our concern is, in the unincorporated areas around Mokena, we have an influx of people who are burning yard debris, and it's affecting our residents. What we'd be asking for is some consideration in, or compromise, not necessarily a county-wide ban, but let's start looking at the residential areas, unincorporated, that are close to our incorporated areas, and try to help residents in those incorporated areas.
Okay, so Steve, I'd like to say some things here. So we have talked about this extensively for the last two years. We did it extensively. Every single Public Health and Safety Committee meeting discussed this issue. We had many public hearings, and people on both sides came. So I have a question for you. You mentioned, and I wasn't sure how you said it, you had 38 calls since November of 2014.
Of open burning, yes.
Of open burning, and you said most of the violators were within your village limits?
Many were within the village limits, the corporate limits. Many were outside the corporate limits or in the unincorporated areas.
So some were in the unincorporated, some were incorporated.
Yes.
Incorporated, that is obviously your responsibility,
Yes.
and if those people are violating, that's not on anything for us to deal with, that's
Correct.
the village. As far as the people in the unincorporated, I do know people live in the unincorporated for the reason that they do not want, some people don't want to annex into a village because they don't want more laws imposed upon them. They do not, that's where they like to live there. As far as our sheriff's department, I know our sheriff's department goes out when they get a call and they will pursue the issue. But if Bob Control's people have more pertinent calls than an open burning, they're gonna go there. They're
Oh,
gonna go
absolutely.
Things like that.
That stands to reason.
So I don't think that it was ever stated that our sheriff's department would not go out and do it. They do go do it. They do go out, and to every call that they get, they go to and check it out. So I know that.
And I'm not, don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying that they were refusing to go out to those calls. It was suggested, if I read your minutes correctly, that it was suggested from this committee that they would either be unable to or unwilling to.
I don't remember that. I was on the committee back then.
And I would
Mark was on the bill. I think everyone was on the committee, even including Tom. So I don't know that. I guess what I would like really for you to answer is, of those 38 calls, how many were violators in your village and how many were not? That's something I'd like to know because you don't have a number for me. It doesn't seem like it's a huge issue with just 38 since 2014, the middle of the 2016 here. And in addition to that, just because your rules in the village are different than ours in the county, we can't control that. I mean, in villages, say you have to have your garbage cans behind here, and you have to have this kind of fence, and all kinds of things that we don't make our residents do in the unincorporated areas. So, I guess that would be something to get information on that, as far as that goes. And Tom
Mention
has,
those numbers.
yeah.
And from a public health and safety perspective, I appreciate that you don't enforce what the incorporated areas enforce, and sometimes you don't have ordinances that parallel ordinances in incorporated areas.
Right.
I understand that, but in this situation, it comes down to a public health and safety issue. Those with COPD and asthma and bronchitis and cardiopulmonary disease, those are the people that are affected by this. And we have residents who can't come out of their houses.
okay, so I have a question then for you. Does the village of Mokena, do you guys collect leaves?
Yeah, we do.
You do. Does the township collect any leaves in your
The
township?
township collects leaves.
Okay, because I know Jim Moostis and Tom and I spoke after Forest Preserve yesterday, and he mentioned that in Frankfort Township, the highway commissioner has gone around and said to the different residents, hey, you know what, we will come out, the township will come out, we'll pick up your leaves. And that has essentially really stopped a lot of the burning in Frankfort Township. So have you guys done that?
Have we pick up, well, we pick up our.
So you pick up in your town, so you shouldn't have any open burning issues in the village because you do pick up leaves.
Right, we do pick up leaves.
But there's still people burning.
Well, you know that also, Madam Chairman, no matter what rules you have.
Right.
People are going to do what they want to
Exactly.
do.
That is the
And damn
thing.
everybody else.
Yeah, well,
So-
that is how people are in society, I know that, that's right, I know, unfortunately. I would like to have other people go ahead and have some comments. Go ahead, Tom.
In response to the request by the mayor, I researched our ordinances and our possibilities, and we can ban open burning of leaves in a township which does provide free leaf pickup. And Frankfort Township does provide free leaf pickup. I prepared this ordinance amendment. It was prepared by Matt Guzman of the State's Attorney's Department. He has reviewed it. I don't know if he showed it to Mary Tatro or not, but it would only apply to townships that provide free leaf pickup. And then I only know of two townships, Frankfort and Troy Township. I talked to both of the highway commissioners, and they are both in favor of this type of an ordinance. Since they do have free leaf pickup, why do they need to burn leaves? You know, they're providing the free service. They'll come to your house, pick them up. So we're only going to impose this on two townships in the county. So it's not going to be countywide. Maybe other townships will want to do this in the future. It gives them something to look forward to. I know New Lenox is considering it. They are considering an intergovernmental agreement with the village of New Lenox, where the village would pick up the township area also. So this could be expanded in the future to protect. We've had a lot of complaints in New Lenox Township, but this would not apply until they do get free leaf pickup. We don't want to impose a burden on the citizens if they have no way to dispose of their leaves. And this free leaf pickup does give them an option to pick up those leaves. They don't have to burn them.
Okay, so that my understanding is then, in Frankfurt Township and in Troy Township, that they would go out and pick up the leaves. So why don't they make that known, publicly known to the residents in the unincorporated area so that they eliminate the burning altogether for those people?
Well, I think it's a matter of education and
Then that's their
enforcement.
job.
Enforcement, you know. If they see the guy picking up leaves every day, it should be obvious, you know. You're not going to go out and mail a mailing to everybody saying, you know, no more burning, you got to put them out of the street.
Madam Chairman?
I'm going to have Jim Lucis talk first.
Okay.
Jim, put your speaker on there.
Good, Jim, I'll put this on.
Chief, how are you today?
Good, sir, how are you?
Yeah, I'm going to specifically talk about Frankfurt Township. And Frankfurt Township has, for the unincorporated area, leaf pickup for quite a number of years. And every year, pretty much has reduced leaf burning in the unincorporated area to the point where there's basically none. And our highway commissioner, I think, does a pretty good job of, and the township does a pretty good job of informing people this service exists, and has pretty much eliminated burning even in rural areas where they actually could burn under our ordinance. You know, when I talked to a highway commissioner and I asked him, well, what do you think about how many people are burning? He said, I don't think hardly anybody's burning if ever. And he goes, and then usually if we let them know, we'll come pick up their leaves. They'll stop burning. So it is a matter of education. It has taken some time to get that information out. But Frankfurt Township is made up of many different types of zoning classifications. We still have farms. We have people who live on large lots in a rural setting. And most of people who have burned in the past do it out of necessity more than they do because they want to go out and burn. And that's why I think our leaf pickup has been successful. Those people who usually are burning are in violation of the ordinance already. This doesn't change anything. It really becomes more of a matter of enforcement. Even the township, the highway commissioner will go out if he knows somebody is burning and ask them to stop burning. So I don't know what something like this does. It makes you feel good, I guess. Makes you feel like we've done something more. You know, I'm always a little hesitant to select a few segments or a certain group in our township, in our county, and say only this law only applies to you, but it applies to no one else. So I am hesitant to say only townships that do free leaf pickup are subject to this law. So, in my view, it's more like, well, you're doing the right thing, you're providing a service, and now your people are going to come under different scrutiny. It's just not fair. It just isn't.
Well, nothing's free, someone's paying.
Well, the taxpayer, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you why a lot of townships don't do free leaf pickup. As I'm sure the mayor's aware of, this is not inexpensive. It costs a lot of money to haul those leaves to a composting site. Frankfurt Township is fortunate if they have the resources, they can provide these services, but the equipment isn't inexpensive, and the operation itself is not inexpensive. I think that our township pays over, I don't know, $15,000, $20,000 a year just to dispose of the leaves. So, we also provide other services. We do branch pickup, where we mulch it and then give it to the local community for its free mulch. But my hesitation is I really think this is more of an enforcement And in the case of Frankfurt Township, I don't think this will change anything. I mean, you're always gonna have violators. And it's up to us to get out there to enforce the current law. In this particular instance that maybe, I don't know if you know, we're not identifying, you know, necessarily the individuals here, but my guess is that most of them are already illegally burning. So I don't know what something like this would do. I'm hesitant to apply something only to a small segment of our county. I think we can continue to work together. Oh, my highway commissioner. You know, he can speak for himself. He can speak for himself, you know. I stuck it at the end there, you know. Now, Bill, why don't you just get up here? Yeah, also, I mean, what I'm saying, would you agree with? I mean,
yeah, the bad thing, we do it for the concerns that the chief and the mayor have for the health reasons. That's why we started doing it. We've been doing it for 13 years, 12 years, and it's progressed. We had one leaf sucker with 2 trucks. Now we got 2 leaf suckers with 3 potential trucks to go around. We just go around. It's not a scheduled time. You just rake your leaves out, we'll come around. So we just go around, rake it, get it out of the ditch, get it to the curb lines, and we go around just like our branch pickup. And then, you know, we bring it back in the shop. We run 10, 12-hour days just to get it done with the weather getting bad. We don't do it after the snow. Then it's done. It's up to the homeowners. To burden the homeowners on bags, $2.50 stickers, whatever they are now. That's the way you can do it, you know, and process it. But we choose not to under the circumstances we're in. Work along with the village. The deputies have my cell phone number. I have most of the deputies' cell phone numbers that are on shift, most of the shifts, even all 3 shifts. The village has my number. I'm more than happy to go out there on Saturdays, Sundays when the burning happens, you know, and do it. And I've done it. I'll drive around. I'll get calls from neighbors that I know, and I'll go out there and enforce it. Don't put it out. They burn right in the street. I put $60,000 into paving the road, and that month they were burning out in the middle of the street. You can see the burning of the asphalt and pulling the oils right out of it. So that's why we started doing this. I mean, you can justify it if you get the revenue. To enforce it countywide or, you know, as proposed to the 2 townships that do it, I mean, I can see the points on having issues with that too. You know, it's an enforcement.
Bill Scott, can I ask you, I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. He said, we've done this in Frankfurt Township for some time. And, you know, initially, people's stuff still kept burning. But I asked you, I believe, a week or so ago, and we get very few. We do get very few.
Can I speak on that, please?
Sure.
Residents will not call. They do not want to bother their neighbor. They're afraid of getting their neighbor mad at them. I had somebody come up to me yesterday at an event and tell me, my next door neighbor burns all the time, but I don't want to bother the police department, and they live in town. I don't want to bother the police department, and I don't want to get the neighbor mad at me. My job as an elected official is not to wait for the neighbor to come up to me and say, Mayor, I need your help. These people are paying taxes. They want protection. My job as mayor is the number one job, Madam Chairman, is the health, safety, and welfare of my residents. It's not to allow somebody to burn their leaves. And you brought up the fact that these people want to live in the county, which is great. You want to live in the county. But you also, living next to a community right in the middle of Mokena, you get the benefit of my police protection because there are reciprocal agreements. You get the benefit of my department cleaning the roads out so you can get to work in the morning. So really, you're getting the benefits of living in Mokena, and you're not paying Mokena taxes. So there is more to it, like you're trying to do with this ordinance, with leaf burning. I know it's not cut and dry, but either is saying, well, these people want to live in the town, in the county. They're still having an impact on the village of Mokena. And I've got to take care of my residents. And then people tell me, well, why didn't you annex those villages? Well, you know, out of one side of your mouth, you're telling me that you don't want to encumber people that live in the county, and then on the other side of your mouth, you're saying, well, why don't you force annex those people? You know what? I don't understand. I'm looking for protection from all of you folks for my residents. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I need my residents protected. And to me, their right to breathe is much more important than someone's right to burn leaves. We've got to start looking at this, and we've got to start being, Jim, we've got to stop being afraid to make a decision on
You
this.
made my point, though. You have an ordinance that prohibits burning in Mokena, but yet you have people within the corporate limits of Mokena burning.
Right, you know why, Jim? Because many of them are new residents that see somebody burning in the county, but they don't realize that those people aren't in the village.
You know, Frank, I don't know, I don't want to argue with you, I think it's a little overstated that they see somebody, we in Frankfurt Township, I think have very little, if any, people burning.
Can I read something, Madam Chairman? Can I read something that
So
I
I would like to
got?
make a comment first, so, and then I'll let Steve, I'm gonna let Steve talk, and then I'll let you go ahead.
Okay.
So the thing is, in your own village yourself, you have this issue with the burning. So when somebody moves into the village, you know a new person has moved in, your assessor knows there's a person who's come. It should be something that's in the local papers or whatever to put that out there, to make it known. Because I would think most people would like to have Bill come up and suck the leaves up, rather than standing by the leaf pile for hours to make sure all the leaves are burned. So I think that would be something is an awareness
Madam Chairman,
issue.
it is put on our News You Can Use and on our village scroller. And you can get it on our webpage, so people do see that. But like we spoke a few minutes ago, you can tell people till you're blue in the face not to do something, but they're going to do what they want to do and damn everybody else.
So you have repeat offenders then, Steve, I believe it is.
Well, you know,
Repeat offenders that do
people
this,
in
or?
unincorporated and in the village of Mokena that burn. We can't do anything, we can do something about the people in Mokena that burn, which Chief Carl does, but we can't do anything with the people in the county that burn.
If you call me, I can.
You can't?
Just call me. It's an ordinance. It's a burn ordinance that I can enforce by calling a deputy out or going out there myself. And I've got on my website, we do the leaf pickup. There is burn ordinances in the county. It might have got changed on our website and the newsletter if the county ordinance.
Your department can enforce that.
If it's in the street.
If it's in the streets and if it's on the property, even if it's on their properties. If it's on their properties and I see it within 50 feet of any structure or the property line, you know, their barn, their shed, I can knock on that door and tell them, as the highway commissioner. And if they don't listen to me, then I can call the sheriff, because the sheriffs know their ordinances and the sheriffs can enforce them. I just need a phone call. I can't see 65 miles of township road and cover it on Saturdays and Sundays and Fridays and the days that they don't. Van Rankovich has got my cell phone number. They've all got my cell phone number. All I need is a phone call. I live 5 minutes away from the highway department shop. Don't call my highway shop number. Call my cell phone number.
So
I'll
the-
give every police department my cell phone number. Frankfurt's got it. 3/4 of Frankfurt police got my phone number. Call me. That's all I need is a call, and I will get it enforced.
So
I don't have a problem with
Mokena
that.
is in Frankfurt, I don't.
Yes,
live
Mokena is
Yeah.
in
in
Franklin
Frankfurt
Township.
Township, okay.
We have
I-
Tinley, Frankfurt, and
I
Mokena
live in
within our
Homer,
township.
and it's just like Frankfurt. We have farms, we have 10-acre lots, 5-acre lots, little bitty lots like mine. And when I was on the township, this kind of issue came up. And in Homer, we're a little bit more different than other places. We passed a law that English is the official language of Homer County. We enforce immigration laws there. I mean, we don't abide by eminent domain in Homer. So we are, as a township, pass laws that everyone in the township has to abide by. So if there's an issue with New Lenox and Frankfurt, I don't ever hear anybody else coming. In Homer, we can burn, but you gotta get a permit in the city. The unincorporated, you don't. But if there's an issue, then why doesn't the township make it a township law that they have to do it? You know, I mean, if that's the case, if they're only, I never hear anybody other than Mokena, New Lenox, and Frankfurt. I don't hear anybody from Creek coming here and saying don't burn.
That's because it's more populated than most of the
So why
other
doesn't the
townships.
township make the law? They come to the
I-
county for the whole county when it's isolated to the township, so let the township deal with it.
That's why we just say, Steve, townships cannot make laws. I mean, they're not enforceable laws, you can pass them, but they're not enforceable.
And it has to be ultimately approved by the county.
But here again, I guess my point I want to make, it's not a matter of the ordinance. It's a matter of enforcement. So, if somebody's burning on an agricultural piece of property, they can do it. For example, agriculture, we should make clear first, is exempt. And even if you pass another ordinance such as this, you have to understand, agricultural properties are still exempt.
But Jim, I'm not worried, I agree with you, I'm not trying to hurt anybody, I'm not trying to put a restriction on agricultural or anything like that. That's all I am trying to do as mayor of the village of Mokena, is protect the residents of the village of Mokena.
But Frank, you have to understand that, I know you understand, I shouldn't say you need to understand, I know you understand. We deal with a much more diverse zoning, diversity of zoning. We have a lot of state residential, we have agriculture, we have subdivisions. But getting back to Frankfurt Township specific, Frank, if you let Bill know, if you let me know, we'll go out there. Bill does most of that, but if you need me to go out there, if he was out of town, I'll go out there and tell them they're in violation of the ordinance. My point is that, so what are you going to now? Be in violation of additional ordinance? They're in violation already. So this is just a matter of enforcement. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make, is we need to enforce it. Like I said, I believe we have very few instances. I ride around the township pretty regularly on the weekends. I go to different places. And I rarely
Okay,
I used to see it a lot, but now I see.
This is a perfect segue into what I wanted to, Madam Chairman.
Please go ahead and read that.
These are 16 different people, okay, on an internet website in Mokena, okay? These are mothers with children, okay? This was last November 7th and November 8th. Dawn, why must people burn leaves? How hard is it to understand that it can send someone with asthma into a bad attack and they could end up in the hospital? Why not just bag them or cut them up with your lawnmower? Sheila, thank you. I can't breathe when leaves are burning. Dawn, it should be illegal. Lydia, it is illegal in Mokena. Dawn, my chest hurts so bad now, I already used my inhaler, I can't even fall asleep. Sherry, our neighborhood is so bad we can't see driving down the street. We mulch on it. Sherry, and are you an unincorporated? If so, where? Dawn, yes, we are near where Ace Hardware used to be. Kim, that smell gives me a horrible headache. Annette, unfortunately, those in unincorporated Mokena can burn, but the smoke blows all over. I too wish people would stop burning. Annette, I live in incorporated Mokena, north of Francis. The south side of the street is unincorporated. They burn all the time, plus some of my neighbors do it illegally. Nicole, simply stated, the laws need to be enforced. The laws are not, and this entire area has an awful hard to breathe haze around it. Sheila, I agree, it's horrible. The next day, let me finish this. The next day, Heather, so it is just me, or is Mokena entirely covered in smoke right now? Cough, cough, it's killing my sinuses. Kelly, it is so disgusting, it's everywhere, the leaves being burned. Dawn again, I'm sick of it and from it. I just did a breathing treatment and I still can't breathe, but now my heart's racing and I'm shaking. People need to stop this. Roxanne, it is so much easier to run them over with a lawnmower and mulch. Dawn, and safer for people with health problems. My friend's little boy is having to do a treatment also because of the smoke. Heather, my whole house stinks. I had to give my little guy every asthma med he has. Kelly, my daughter started feeling the effects after being outside yesterday and the coughing is continuing tonight. I just don't understand why it is acceptable at all. Heather, I'm in unincorporated and it's really, really bad over here. It's like a thick fog. Melissa, it is New Lenox too. Dawn, I've been closing my house today and we have to open the doors to put the dogs out. Sheila, It was terrible tonight in New Lenox. Even at 9:30 p.m., smoke so thick, all down 30 from where I got off 80, all the way to Lincoln Way Central. It was like a fog. My eyes are burning, my throat hurts, and my clothes and hair stink. It's ridiculous. Aaron, daughter took a shower early in the evening and went out to walk dogs with my husband at 9:30. They came back and brought a heavy smoke smell with them. My daughter had to rewash her hair with west side of Mokena. Kristen, I don't recall it being this bad in the past. Dawn, someone on the street was burning leaves the other day, and the smoke was so bad I thought the house was on fire, so I drove past to make sure it wasn't. Renee, it's awful this year. I can't smell it. I won't even go on. So, you know what? People they're afraid, Madam Chairman, to come up and complain. They're afraid of their neighbors. They're afraid of other things, I don't know. It's our job as elected officials. If we don't have a button at home. We're here to make decisions as elected officials to help our residents, our constituents. We don't have a button at home when we make a decision at the Village of Mokena or you're at the county board meeting. Okay, if you residents at home like this idea, press yes. If you don't like it, press no. If we did that, they wouldn't need us. All of us sitting here, and I can't see any of you that would disagree with this statement, that the particulates and smoke are not hurting people.
You know what, I think everyone on this board, like I said, we did go through this for 2 years. We heard lots of people come from the public who were opposed to, they don't want leaf burning. We had a lot of those people, we had other people, we had everyone coming giving their opinion. So we were aware of all those different statistics. So if you live in, Mokena is in Frankfort Township. You have Bill's number. I think the good thing is, on that mom's website, I know what mom's Facebook pages are like, I am a mom. All you have to do is put it out there, so you know the highway commissioner, he will come out, he could give them a flyer or something like that that says, hey, you don't have to burn your leaves, let's keep it clean, and let's go ahead and we will come and collect the leaves. I think that is a good solution to try and work with, to start with, and track the instances before, afterwards, and of these 38, are they 38 repeat, where are they? I don't know those numbers. And 38 in 2 years is that's 19, is it 4 for the same one? I'm not sure. Mark, you want to make a comment?
Yes, I'm in the unincorporated Plainfield, and they pick up our leaves, and also they pick up down limbs. All you have to do is put them in the parkway. However, as a reminder to all the residents, now I've lived there for 40 years. This didn't just start 40 years ago. This started when we had Sam Reichert as our highway commissioner. Then Sam passed away and Kenny Marlin took over. But he continued the same communications thing where he was direct mailing all the residents in the spring about down limbs, and then in the end of summer about leaf pickup. And that goes on and on. It's an ongoing thing. And it's a continuous reminder to everybody. And I would say most of the people in Plainfield Township participated. We don't have a problem. So I think part of it, a big part of it, they say people don't remember things unless you tell them something 3 times.
That's in 1 year.
That might be in 5 minutes, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what the number is, but you got to keep throwing it in their face and reminding them that this is the way it's done in our community, for starters. That's all I understand.
That's what, you know, it was if you read those comments, Mayor, and there's some reference to geographic areas in those comments. Those areas are in violation. I guess my point is, it won't help to pass an additional ordinance that pertains to Frankfort Township, because they're already in violation of the current ordinance. You know, once again, it becomes a manner of enforcement.
They may not be in violation. If they're within 50 feet of a structure or property line, or on the road, or on a public easement, they're in violation. But if they're in the middle of their backyard...
No, they can still, that area that you mentioned, I'm just saying, geographic, that's not an area, that's almost like a subdivision. Those are small lots. They would be in violation.
Well,
further down, you might...
What we're going to do this fall is I'm going to be working with Bill, and I'll be talking to you too, Mr. Speaker. And we're going to do whatever everybody says here. We're going to put a program together, we're going to educate people, but I'm going to be back. If that doesn't work, I'm going to be back. And I'll tell you what, when I come back, if this doesn't work, I will fill the building. Because this has got to stop. Seeing a little kid that can't breathe, it's not fair. It's just not fair that people should have to worry about driving through a community and they have to roll up their windows or they'd be afraid that they're going to go into a doggone asthma attack because of the smoke. We might be able to stop this here, but I think eventually the county is going to have to look at this, because I don't know if you folks realize it, but this year we've had the most orange alerts that we've ever had in Will County. And you started, you know what an orange alert is. The air is, it's horrible. It's horrible for people that have heart conditions or respiratory problems. And when you start adding smoke to this is not what I want to see happen for Will County at all. We have to start being aware of our environment here, and I'm not a tree hugger, believe me. I'm just being a realist. This is what's happening, folks, and we better take care of it.
And Mr. Mayor, I happen to be somewhat of a tree hugger, and I know that the leaf burnings adds to it, but other things that happen in this county with the density, with all the intermodal truck facilities and things like that, that is what significantly adds to it, and I don't think anyone wants to cut that back. So I think it's a great plan. Bill, thank you for coming today. I'd like to see you guys work on putting something together, and then keep a good, Steve, if you can keep a good track of everything, and Bill, I'm counting on you in the back if you get some calls from the county, from that area, let us know. Bob, sorry, whoever you are back there. Bill. I don't know who he is. Okay. So keep track of that. Let's see what it is. And I would like to also know, with the breakdown of the 38, is it just Liz and Mark? Because they got nothing else to do. Not saying that. But Liz and Mark live next. It's just Mark. They live to Annette, next to Annette, and she continuously burns. And is she something that Bill could go to Annette's house and say, hey, Annette, why do you want to stand out there and smell like leaves? I will come and suck your leaves up for you. She's already raking them into a pile. So let's work on that. I think that's about a reasonable thing because of the fact that we do have an ordinance. People are not following the ordinance right now. So we could put another ordinance in place and they will not follow that next ordinance. Could they get fined? Yes, they can. But if the sheriff's department is busy, they may never get to that spot before the burning's over. I don't know. So I think that's a great plan. If you guys work on that, and Mayor, give us the data, come back in, I don't know, maybe a year from now or so, and give us an update. That would be fabulous.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, is there anyone else that has any other public comment they'd like to make today? Okay, I do not have a report or announcement. We do not have executive session, so I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Motion by Ferry, second by Collins. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. It's adjourned.